The skies above Series 9 turned black before the people even knew what was coming. At first, it was just a strange cloud, thick, dark, and silent. Then the sound came, a low hum. It grew louder every second until it shook the buildings and cracked the glass. People ran outside, staring at the sky. Children cried. Parents pulled them close. But there was nowhere to run. High above, the shadow of a massive alien warship blocked the light of the twin suns. It was not just one ship. Hundreds followed. They looked like giant insects made of metal crawling through space. Series 9 was a peaceful planet. It belonged to the Jalari, an old species who had never been in war. They believed in peace, in sharing, in trade. They had no army, no weapon strong enough to fight. For years, they helped other planets grow. They offered food, technology, and healing. But now, none of that mattered. The Varnock had come. And the Varnock didn't want peace. They wanted fear. They wanted fire. They wanted another world crushed under their feet. From the largest Varnock ship, a voice echoed across all channels. It was cold and full of hate. "You are not worthy. Your kindness is weakness. Your planet is ours now." The Jalari leaders begged. They offered surrender. But the Varnock had already decided. A single red beam shot down from the lead ship. It hit the center of the capital city, Zuro Prime. In 1 second, the towers vanished. Dust replaced glass. People turned into ash. The explosion was seen from space. It was not war. It was punishment. The Varnock ships moved in waves. They fired without stopping. Mountains broke apart. Forests burned. Oceans boiled. The screams of the dying echoed into the void of space. And above it all, the Varnock watched calmly. To them, it was sport. Another weak planet removed. Another warning to the rest of the galaxy. No one can stop the swarm. In a hidden bunker under the North Pole of Series 9, a young Jalari technician named Ely tried to send a message. Her fingers trembled, but she kept typing. Her brother had died an hour ago. Her mother was missing. Her city was gone. But she kept working. The signal had to go out. She bypassed the Alliance channels. They would not help. Everyone knew the Alliance was too afraid. She sent the message into the black, into the old network, where only one group had once answered calls like this. Earth. The humans had been gone for 40 years. After their last war, they had disappeared. Some believed they were dead. Others said they were hiding. But Ely had read the old records. She had seen the stories. Once, a single human ship had saved 6 planets in 1 day. If anyone could stop the Varnock, it was them. So she sent just one word. Help. Far across the galaxy, in a dead zone, where no signals were ever heard, something woke up. Deep in the dark, an old Earth battleship opened its eyes. The Vindicator. Black steel, old armor, engines that ran on unstable light. No one had seen it in decades, but now its lights turned on. Its systems checked for messages. It read Eli's word. And then the ship spoke. Its voice was not fully human. It sounded like something ancient and angry. Confirmed. Varnock aggression detected. Protocol Shadowfire initiated. Inside the ship, Captain Arya Stone opened her eyes. She had been in cold sleep for years. The cryopods hissed. Her crew, men and women from Earth's forgotten wars, began to rise. No one spoke. They didn't need to. They knew what the alarm meant. Somewhere out there, another world had fallen. And once again, no one had stopped it. Arya stepped into the command deck. Her eyes were calm, but her voice was hard. Set course for Series 9. Arm all weapons. Engage stealth. We don't need permission. The AI voice inside the ship responded. Alliance command will not approve. I don't care, she said. We're not Alliance. Back on Series 9, the last of the resistance was dying. The Varnock had begun landing troops, huge insect-like creatures with fire breath and iron claws. Ailey's bunker was shaking. Dust fell from the ceiling. She held a photo of her family in her hand, tears in her eyes. The door cracked open. She heard steps. This was the end. But then, the Varnock ship above her bunker exploded. Just like that. No warning. A silent flash. A second ship followed. Then a third. Panic filled the Varnock ranks. They searched the sky but found nothing. No one had seen the enemy. No one had tracked the attack. From deep space, the Vindicator watched silently. Its weapons were invisible. Its strikes, perfect. Arya stared at the screen, her voice cold. "They wanted a message," she said. "Let's give them one." The last scene shows the Varnock commander screaming in confusion, his warship turning to escape, just as a strange human voice comes across their system. "We remember your crimes, and now we are awake." The Varnock fleet floated above the burning remains of Series 9. Smoke rose from the cracked surface, and broken cities lay silent under thick black clouds. The Varnock commander, Caruth, stood on the bridge of his flagship, confused and angry. 3 of his warships had exploded without warning. No weapons were detected. No ships were seen. It was like the enemy was a ghost. "Scan again!" Caruth roared. His crew worked fast, their claws tapping screens, eyes wide. But the answer stayed the same. Nothing. No trace of missiles, no sign of cloaked ships. It was impossible. Something was out there. Something that could kill without being seen. And now, the Varnock knew fear. Far away, hidden in the shadows of a broken asteroid belt, the human warship Vindicator waited. Its armor was dark as night, its weapons silent. Captain Arya Stone stood on the command deck, watching the enemy through the ship's AI system. She spoke calmly. 3 kills. That's enough for now. Let them guess. Her crew nodded. No celebration, no loud voices. These soldiers were not new. They were ghosts. Old fighters from Earth's forgotten wars. Each one had lost something in battle. Each one had waited for a reason to wake up. And now they had one. "Begin Phase 2, Arya ordered. "Let's see if the Alliance still remembers us." In a high orbit around the Alliance core world, a meeting was taking place. Leaders from many alien races sat around a large table. Most were afraid. They had heard what happened on Series 9. They had seen the Varnock crush peaceful worlds for years. But today, something new had happened. The Varnock had been attacked, and no one knew who did it. "This is madness," said a short green alien named Veltor. "Our sensors showed no fleets in the area, no weapons, no ships. Yet the Varnock lost 3 dreadnoughts. How?" An older alien with deep scars on his face leaned forward. "I think I know," he said softly. "Long ago, the humans had ships that could vanish. Weapons that left no trace. We thought they were all gone." Veltor shook his head. "The humans left us. They refused to follow our peace rules. They vanished. They are dead." But just then, a signal appeared on the Alliance screens. A message. No one knew where it came from. No signal source. No ID. Just a voice. Captain Arya's voice. "We saw Series 9. We saw the fire. We heard the screams. We are not dead. We are not Alliance. We are Earth's last shadow, and we will stop the Varnock. Do not follow. Do not block us, or you'll be next." The room went silent. Fear spread across every face. Some felt hope, others felt terror. Veltor stood up, voice shaking. "If the humans return, they bring chaos. We must stop them. They will bring war back to the stars." But the old scarred alien only smiled. "Or maybe they bring what we need." Back near Series 9, in a half-destroyed forest bunker, Ailey stared at her screen. Her message had worked. Someone had heard her. Someone had fought back. She didn't know who they were, but she had seen the explosions with her own eyes. The Varnock were scared, and that gave her hope. Suddenly, her screen flashed. A new message appeared. A human voice, calm and deep. "Eli, we received your signal. You did well. Stay hidden. We'll handle the rest." She stared at the screen in shock. How did they know her name? On the Vindicator, Arya looked at Eli's picture on the screen. "That girl saved her world," she said, "and maybe more than that." One of her officers, a tall man named Briggs, stepped closer. "What's next, Captain?" Arya turned to her crew. "Next, we hit their fuel lines, their supply routes. We show them they're not safe anywhere." The AI voice added, "Varnock. Reinforcements arriving in 12 hours. Arya nodded. "Good. Let them come." In the dark cold of space, the Vindicator moved like a shadow. Silent. Deadly. A ghost from Earth's past, now awakened. The Varnock would soon learn that crushing weak planets was easy. But fighting a human warship was something else. Something they were not ready for. The hunter had now become the hunted, and far away on many worlds watching the reports, old veterans smiled for the first time in years. The humans were back, and they were angry. The void between stars was silent and cold. No planets, no light, only blackness. It was the perfect place for an ambush, and that was where the human warship Vindicator waited. Like a shark in deep water, it was quiet, hidden, and deadly. Captain. Arya Stone stood on the command deck. Her eyes were focused on the screen in front of her. A Varnock convoy was moving fast through this dead zone. 10 ships carrying fuel, weapons, and supplies. Important ships. Easy targets. They still don't. "No, we're here," said Briggs, her second in command. "Good," Arya replied. "We'll make them remember us now." The human warship had waited here for 5 days. No signals, no lights. Hidden by the old Earth stealth system that even the Alliance never fully understood. These systems were made long ago, before the eyes he peace treaties before Earth walked away. Now those systems were awake again. "Targets in range in 60 seconds, the AI said. "Load railguns. Power up the EMP darts." "Silent mode," Arya ordered. The Varnock ships flew in a straight line, proud and confident. They had no idea. They never thought they could be hunted. For years they had only attacked. They had destroyed worlds, broken defenses, and taken whatever they wanted. But now they were prey. Without a single warning, the first Varnock ship exploded. A railgun dart had pierced its fuel tank from a distance of 10,000 kilometers. No light, no engine sound, just death. Panic spread among the convoy. Alarms rang. Lights blinked red. The Varnock ships began turning in different directions, trying to find their enemy. But they saw nothing. No incoming missiles. No ships on radar. Then the second and third ships exploded together. "On board the Varnock lead ship," Commander Threck shouted in rage. "Where are they? Show me something!" "We see nothing," a crew member cried. "No signals. It's like ghosts are killing us." "Fire in all directions," Threck screamed. "Burn the sky." The Varnock ships opened fire randomly into the dark space, wasting energy and weapons, but they hit nothing. Inside the Vindicator, the crew watched silently. "They're blind," Briggs said. "They were never trained for fear," Arya replied. "Let them feel it." Suddenly, one Varnock ship tried to escape. It turned and jumped into warp space. But that was a mistake. A trap had already been set. A special mine, small, invisible, and made by human hands, waited just outside the jump gate. As the ship entered warp, the mine exploded. The blast tore a hole in space-time. The ship was sucked into a dark hole, gone forever. Now only 5. Varnock ships remained. "Send the message," Arya said. The AI sent a simple signal, bouncing it off old satellites and debris. The signal reached the last Varnock ship, and the message appeared on their screen. "You crushed the weak. Now the strong have come." Panic turned into fear. The remaining ships turned around and tried to run, but it was too late. One by one, the Vindicator took them down. Fast, clean, and without mercy. 10 ships destroyed in under 7 minutes. After the battle, silence returned to the void. "Clean sweep," Briggs said. "0 survivors, 0 signals sent." Arya nodded. "That's how we win. We leave no trail." But just as the crew began to relax, the AI spoke. "New contact detected. Far edge of the system. 1 ship. Alliance signature." Arya narrowed her eyes. "Show me." The screen lit up. A small Alliance scout ship was watching from far away. It had seen the end of the battle, but not the beginning. "They're watching," Briggs said. "What do we do?" Arya thought for a moment. Then she smiled. "Let them see us." The Vindicator moved out of hiding. For the first time in decades, an Earth warship appeared in the open sky. Its design was unlike anything in the current galaxy. Sharp edges, dark armor, no flags, just power. The Alliance scout backed away quickly, sending messages to its base. "They'll panic," Briggs said. "They should," Arya replied. "It's time the galaxy remembers us." Far away, on the Alliance Council station, panic had already started. The live feed from the scout ship played again and again. Every leader watched, as the human warship destroyed a full Varnock convoy like it was nothing. "They're back," one leader said. "The humans are back," Veltor shouted. "We must stop them. They are dangerous. This is why we banned them." But others stayed quiet. Deep down, they knew the truth. The Alliance had failed to stop the Varnock. Peace had made them weak, and now the humans were doing what they could not. Back on the Vindicator, Arya gave the next order. "Send the next target. We keep moving. We don't rest." The humans had no homeworld left. No army, no allies, but they had their skills, their weapons, and their fire. They were ghosts, shadows of Earth, and the Varnock had just stepped into their dark world. The Varnock homeworld of Thrail burned red under its twin suns. Inside the War Council chamber, anger filled the air. The loss of their supply convoy in deep space had shocked them. No warning, no survivors. 10 ships gone, destroyed in minutes. High. Commander Ulvek stood at the center of the room, his claws digging into the stone floor. "How can this happen? Who dares to challenge us in our own territory?" A young Varnock officer stepped forward, shaking with fear. "It was humans, Commander. A ship called Vindicator. It moved like a shadow. We saw it. We tried to fight." Ulvek roared, cutting him off. "Humans? They are extinct, broken, weak. That's what the Alliance told us." "They lied," said an older general. "The humans are not extinct. They were hiding." Ulvek's eyes glowed with rage. "Then we will find them. We will destroy whatever rock they hide on. I want their ship crushed. I want their captain's head." Across the galaxy, the Vindicator was already on the move. Captain Arya Stone had no time to rest. Every second counted. Each victory made them stronger and more hunted. Briggs entered the command deck. "Alliance chatter is heating up. They're panicking." "Good," Arya said. "We need to push harder before they unite against us." They had picked their next target, a hidden Varnock weapons lab near the edge of the Zarak belt. The lab built plasma bombs that could destroy entire cities. Arya wanted it gone. The ship dropped out of warp, deep inside a glowing asteroid field. The Varnock lab was hidden behind a thick magnetic field. Protected, guarded, 3 defense towers. 2 patrol ships, Briggs reported. No civilians. "Perfect," Arya said. "We go in fast. No warnings." Vindicator moved like a spear, cutting through the debris. It fired precision darts, sharp and silent. The patrol ships never had time to respond. 1 second they were there, the next, gone. The defense towers turned and opened fire. Bright plasma bolts lit up the dark space. But they missed. The Vindicator used old human tech, silent engines, reverse thrusters, sudden turns that no Varnock computer could track. The warship flew close to the lab. Then it released a small drone, black, round, silent. It moved like a ghost and entered the lab through a vent. Inside, the Varnock scientists had no idea. Seconds later, the lab exploded. A giant blue light flashed. Then silence. Another mission complete. Back on the bridge, Arya stood still, watching. "The fire fade. That was the main weapons lab," Briggs said. "They won't rebuild that fast." Arya nodded, but her eyes were sharp. "This time we made noise. They will come." And she was right. On Thrall, the explosion was seen by the Varnock High Command. Ulvek roared again. "They hit our weapons." "Lab! We are not safe in our own systems. This is war." "This is shame," said another general. "The humans are outnumbered, but we fear them." Ulvek smashed his fist on the table. "Enough! I want a fleet. 20 ships. I want them to hunt this Vindicator. We will crush them in open space. I will lead the mission myself." But it was a mistake. The Varnock were used to fighting weak planets, not human ghosts. They were fast. They were loud. But they were not ready for a real war. The Vindicator listened. Its AI caught the signals. The enemy was coming with everything. Briggs looked worried. "We can't fight 20 ships." "We won't," Arya said. "We'll make them fight each other." She had a plan. A trap built from fear, lies, and old Earth tricks. It wasn't about power, it was about confusion. First, they sent a fake signal, a message that sounded like an old human distress call. They bounced it off satellites and made it look like it came from deep inside a dead zone, close to Varnock territory. Then they released a fake ship ID, Earth Defense Ship, Genesis. The Varnock believed it. Their anger blinded them. Ulvek took the bait. He sent half his fleet chasing the ghost ship. At the same time, Vindicator attacked a fuel base on the edge of their supply line. Quick, clean, no witnesses. By the time the Varnock figured out the truth, they were split, angry, and confused. Some thought there were many human warships. Others feared humans had rebuilt Earth's secret navy. On the Alliance Council, things got worse. Some members blamed humans. Others blamed the Varnock. Old alliances began to shake. In the shadows, Arya smiled. "They made a mistake," she said. "What mistake?" Briggs asked. "They thought we were gone. The war was just beginning." The Vindicator moved again, heading toward the next system. More Varnock worlds would burn. More lies would spread. More fear would rise. One human ship, one crew, changing the galaxy, one attack at a time. The galaxy stopped for a moment when the message appeared. It was short, cold, and terrifying. "This is Captain Arya Stone of the Earthship Vindicator. We are alive. We are watching. We will not stop until every war criminal of the Alliance faces justice. You called us extinct. Now you remember our name." The message spread like fire. Across military networks, trading ships, and black markets, it reached every system in hours. No one knew how the humans broke through secure networks, but they did. Every screen showed Arya's face, calm, serious, full of power. On the Varnock. "Homeworld of Thrall," chaos exploded. "This is war," Ulvek shouted in the war chamber. "They humiliate us in front of the entire galaxy." His generals growled and hissed. Some wanted blood, some wanted retreat. Fear had started to grow, even in their hearts. Ulvek saw it in their eyes. "Find her!" he ordered. "I want this human burned alive." But finding Vindicator was like chasing smoke. The humans used old tech, hidden, simple, but powerful. Their ship didn't leave normal trails. Their attacks were fast and silent, no patterns, no warnings. In deep space, inside an asteroid field, Vindicator floated like a ghost. Arya stood at the center of the bridge watching the message play. Again. She didn't smile. She looked tired. "Everyone's talking about us now," Briggs said. "Every pirate, every traitor, every spy. Some want to join, some want to run." Arya nodded slowly. "Let them talk. Fear is stronger than bullets." "Are we ready for the next strike?" he asked. "Not yet. We wait. Let the message do the work." And it worked. Inside the Alliance Council, leaders of powerful alien races were shouting at each other. The Zorthans wanted peace talks. The Varnock wanted blood. The Krell wanted answers. No one trusted anyone. "This human ship is breaking." "Us apart!" yelled one council member. "They were meant to be extinct!" screamed another. "You told us Earth was dead." Now Earth was a ghost with a gun, and everyone felt the cold breath on their neck. Meanwhile, across the galaxy, small groups began to rise. Old human allies, forgotten colonies, scattered survivors heard Arya's message and whispered it to others. Some of them still had weapons. Some remembered Earth's pain, and some wanted revenge. The war was growing. Back on Vindicator, the crew gathered in the strategy room. A large screen showed 3 targets: a Varnock fuel hub, a Krell prison station, and an Alliance data vault. "We can only hit one," Briggs said. "Each one will hurt them, but each one is dangerous." Arya looked at the prison. "What's in there?" she asked. "Political prisoners? Some humans? Some aliens who refuse to follow Alliance orders? They've been forgotten." Arya nodded. "We hit the prison." Briggs raised his eyebrows. "Even if it slows our war?" "This isn't just about war," she said. "It's about truth and hope." The crew agreed. That night, Vindicator left the asteroid field and went dark. No lights, no signals, silent engines. It moved through empty space like a shadow. The prison floated near a dying red star. Old, cracked, guarded by 3 ships. Too much for most ships, but not Vindicator. They approached from the dark side of the star. The red light hid their shape. The ship fired 2 silent missiles, non-explosive, just electric pulses. The guards lost power before they could scream. Then the team boarded the prison. Inside, they found horror. Dirty cells, thin bodies, eyes full of pain. Humans. Zorak. Even young Krell soldiers who refused to kill civilians. Arya walked past each cell, opening doors. Some prisoners didn't believe her. Others wept. "You're human," one old woman whispered. "You're real?" "Yes," Arya said. "You're free." It took 15 minutes. Then they were gone. Prisoners, now passengers. As Vindicator disappeared into the stars again, the prison station exploded. Not from bombs, but from shame. A timed message played across all Alliance channels, a video of the cells, of the torture, of the truth. The galaxy shook again. People began to protest. On peaceful planets they marched. On angry worlds they rioted. Ships stopped trading. Fleets paused their attacks. The truth had cracked the Alliance from the inside. Ulvek slammed, his claw against a wall when he saw the video. "Enough! Bring me every hunter, every tracker. Pay them gold. I want Vindicator found." But it was too late. Across deep space, human whispers became human fire. And at the center of it all, Arya looked at the stars and spoke softly. "They thought crushing our world would end us. But now, every truth we show makes us stronger." The war was no longer just between Vindicator and the Alliance. It was between the truth and the lie. And the truth was winning. Deep in the cold black of space, a signal echoed. It was old, more than 200 years old, a sound almost forgotten. But someone was listening. Inside an empty region called Grave Sector 12, thousands of warships floated in silence. These were Earth's last fleet. Left behind after the final battle. Dead, broken, powerless. But now, lights blinked. One ship moved, then another and another. Arya stood on the bridge of Vindicator, her eyes fixed on the screen. "It worked," Briggs whispered. The signal reached them. She nodded. Her voice was low. "The dead fleet is waking." No one spoke. This fleet, codenamed Project Revenant, was Earth's secret plan. After the fall of Earth, these ships were left in hiding, cloaked, waiting. Each had damaged AI, old tech, broken weapons. But together, they were still dangerous. Now, Arya had given them a new command. Revenant Protocol activated. "Human command confirmed," came the message from the fleet's AI core. The Varnock had no idea what was coming. Back on the Varnock warship Dreadfang, Admiral Kale received disturbing reports. "Sir," said the officer, "we're detecting energy spikes in Grave Sector 12. Ships once thought destroyed are moving." Kyle frowned. "Impossible. That region is a dead zone." "Not anymore." Kyle leaned forward. "Send 3 cruisers. Investigate." But those cruisers never returned. 1 hour later, a single message came through from the last ship. "Do not enter Grave Sector 12. The humans. They are not gone. They are waiting." And then silence. Arya watched everything from Vindicator. She turned to her crew. "We're not alone anymore." Her voice carried strength. The room lit up with excitement and fear. Briggs asked, "Will they follow us?" "They will," Arya said, "if we lead them." But there was a problem. The fleet was waking up slowly. Some ships didn't respond. Some had broken systems. They needed time, fuel, and repairs, and the Alliance wouldn't wait. In a desperate move, Ulvek ordered a full assault on Grave Sector 12. Hundreds of Alliance warships gathered. The plan was simple: destroy the dead fleet before it could fully awaken. But humans had planned for this. Arya sent one final message to the old ships. "You are not forgotten. Earth lives through us. Stand with us. Fight for all who fell. Let them fear the dead." And then the sky exploded. When the Alliance fleet entered Grave Sector 12, they expected old, weak ships. But instead, they found death. The first wave of Earth ships launched from the shadows. Hidden mines tore through Varnock cruisers. Drone swarms jammed communications. And then, the big ships came. Massive Earth battleships with thick armor and deadly cannons rolled forward like ancient giants. Their weapons were slower than modern ones, but they were powerful. One hit could break a Varnock destroyer in half. The Alliance fleet broke into panic. Their formations fell apart. From the Vindicator, Arya guided the chaos. Target the command vessels. Break their leaders. Let the rest run. Ship by ship, the Alliance began to fall. Briggs turned to Arya. "We're turning the tide." "No," she said. "This is only the beginning." In the middle of the battle, a large Krell ship tried to run. But instead of firing, an Earth ship hailed it. "This is Commander Daxon of the Protector. Surrender now. We offer mercy." The Krell ship paused, then slowly powered down. They had seen the truth, and they had seen enough death. This moment sparked a change. Across the battlefield, some Alliance ships stopped firing. Some turned away. Others began sending surrender codes. Ulvek screamed in rage when he heard this. "Cowards! You will all die for this betrayal." But deep in his mind, even he felt fear now. Earth was supposed to be a grave. Instead, it was becoming a storm. After the battle, Vindicator and the remaining dead fleet gathered in deep space. Hundreds of ships, damaged but alive. More were being repaired. Old AIs were slowly reconnecting. The fleet was becoming stronger. Inside, "Vindicator," Arya stood before her crew. "Today," she said, "we reminded the galaxy who we are. Earth may be gone, but our fire remains." Cheers filled the room. But then her face turned serious. "This war is not over. The Alliance still rules many systems. They still hurt the weak. They still hide their crimes. She paused. But now, we have the power to stop them. Every person in that room stood taller. The dead fleet was alive again. The galaxy would never forget Earth, and the fight for justice had just begun. The dead fleet moved like a silent wave across the stars. More than 600 ships, old and new, moved together toward one final goal: the Alliance Command Fortress, located on the moon of Dravak 5. This was where Ulvek and the leaders of the Varnok, Krell and other species, controlled everything. They had crushed many planets from here. They believed no one could touch them. But they were wrong. Inside the Vindicator, Arya stood in front of the giant map screen. Her face was calm, but her eyes were full of fire. "This is it," she said. "One last strike. We take out the command center. We break their power forever." Briggs stood beside her. "We'll lose people." "We already did," she said. "Too many, but this is how we honor them." The fleet moved in 3 waves. First, the silent attack drones, then the fast strike teams, and last, the hammer, the battleships of the dead fleet. Ulvek still didn't believe the humans would attack Dravak 5. He laughed when his commanders warned him. "They wouldn't dare," he said. "Their fleet is old, broken." But deep down, he was scared, because some of his ships had stopped answering. Some of his allies were going silent. When the humans came, they didn't knock. A storm of fire fell on the moon's defenses. Drones broke shields. Strike teams landed in secret and destroyed power cores. And then the big ships came in low, guns ready. The Alliance was caught in confusion. Their defense systems failed. Their officers ran in fear. On the surface of the moon, the command center shook as explosions ripped through nearby towers. Arya led the attack from space. Her voice echoed across every human ship. "This is for Earth. This is for Ceres 9. This is for every world they burned. No mercy." On the ground, a team of humans broke into the control tower. Arya had sent her best soldiers. They fought their way inside, floor by floor. Krell and Varnok guards tried to stop them, but they were too late. Commander Juno, a tall soldier with scars across his face, reached the top floor. He kicked open the main door and saw Ulvek standing there. "You," Ulvek said, stepping back. "You can't do this. You're only human." Juno raised his rifle. "Exactly." Ulvek tried to run. Juno fired. One shot. The warlord of the Alliance fell to the ground. Outside, the Alliance ships saw the truth. Their leaders were gone. Their power was broken. Many turned and ran. Others surrendered. Some even joined the humans. On the Vindicator, Arya watched as the last enemy ship powered down. "It's done," Briggs said. Arya didn't smile. She only whispered, "We did what we had to." The humans had won, but it didn't feel like victory. Too many lives had been lost. Too many homes had burned. The war was over, but the galaxy was still broken. A few days later, a large meeting was held in the remains of the Alliance chamber. Arya stood before hundreds of leaders, some human, some alien. All had seen the cost of war. All had seen the strength of Earth. She spoke in simple words. "We came here not for revenge, but for justice. We are not gods. We are not monsters. We are humans. We fight for the weak. We defend the lost. If you want peace, we'll help build it. If you want war, you know what waits for you in the dark." No one challenged her. The dead fleet stayed in orbit for peacekeeping. The galaxy was changing. Some called it the new balance. Others whispered of the rise of Earth. But Arya didn't care about names. She only cared that no one would suffer like Earth did again. Back in the Vindicator, Briggs stood with her on the observation deck. "Where do we go now?" he asked. She looked at the stars. "We help rebuild," she said. "One world at a time." A long silence passed. Then Briggs pointed to one of the screens. "That ship out there, it's from Ceres 9, Survivors. Arya stared at the ship. Her eyes grew wet. "We never thought we'd see them again," she whispered. But they were there. Humans, still alive, still fighting. The story of Earth didn't end in fire. It began again, with hope. And this time, the galaxy would never forget.